I think it's a Skoda Felicia based custom, literally everything, twin bike engined. Welcome back to What the F is Going On. This time, just when you thought you'd seen it all on Motor Addicts, we've had some wild stuff on here. I think we're just about to top that. We've got, I think it's a Skoda Felicia based custom, literally everything, twin bike engined, under 800 kilos, built by a grass track racer, this genius named Graham who's just built this. You have to see this. I'm not even going to go through it. Check this out. Graham, thank you so much for having us. So we bumped into Graham at the Gas Gang meet at Silverstone. Jamie, wicked show, well done. But there was some stuff there that really stood out amongst all the Lambos and the drift cars and all that. And actually, Stu came over and said to me, "Have you seen this?" And I was like, "I'm queuing up for an ice cream. I'll be over in a minute." But actually, it was worth leaving the ice cream stall for, because amongst the other stuff that he's got here, mate, you probably saw me when I was looking over it. I was scratching my head thinking,
mate, absolutely,
has he done it and all that, you know? And this is some contraption. And I mean, if you could say it in a sentence, what is this?
An engineering project.
Yeah, that's
basically all it was. It was just like, what can we build? Can it be done? Can we make it work? And that's what we've done. It took us a few years, but that's what we did here.
Start to finish, like 2 years?
I'd say if we put it all together, probably a 2-year project. Yeah. We were on and off it for a few bits of time, a few months here and all that. But yeah, it was probably, you add it all together, it's a 2-year project.
Did you have the car to start off with and you're like, I'm going to do something with this? Or did you have an idea in your head and you thought, I'm going to buy one of these and chop the front and the back off and then just make something?
So a friend of mine had a diesel, 1.9 diesel Felicia for sale. It's 400 or 500 quid or something like that. And I was like, I've seen the VW version, the Caddy and everything like that. And let's just do a pickup. I want to do a pickup, but I didn't want to do a V8 because everybody's done a V8 pickup. So I wanted to do a bike engine. Then I thought, well, there's been bike engine cars done before, so let's do a twin bike engine car.
So it's 8 cylinders still.
Exactly that.
But
so it was, what can we get in there? We tried the different variations and few different versions of it. But now, to be fair, this is what we ended up with. It's a bit crazy.
I couldn't get my head around it, right? So when I looked under the engine bay, I saw the throttle bodies, or is it on carbs or throttle
bodies?
Right, so I saw the throttle bodies as I came around one side, and I was like, oh, he's got a bike engine. And the further I went round, I saw another set of throttle bodies, and I was sort of looking, trying to work out how the drivetrain worked, and we'll get into that in a minute. But it's genius, like how you've sort of put it together. But your background's grass track racing, and they use bike engines a lot for that, presumably.
We do, yeah. I mean, predominantly we've built grass cars for 20 odd years now, and obviously alongside sort of random projects in infill jobs, really, from doing the grass car stuff. And grass car stuff for us was predominantly bike engine.
Right.
So bike engine, and especially twin bike engine, is not new for us.
Oh, right.
But we do quite a lot. You know, we build mini pickups or PSA Centos with them in the back, and single-seater chassis with them in the back. It's quite common in our sport. But to do it in the front and rear-wheel drive is a whole new level.
Presents a lot of...
Yeah, I mean, I hit so many issues on this, just ridiculous.
You've learnt on the project then, I suppose.
Yeah, but you learn every day, don't you?
Yeah. Could you just open the front up?
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't open here for the record. Watch this. Oh, Jesus. Right. Where'd you start? Like...
front end, I guess.
Yeah.
obviously that we needed to build a bigger front end because the Felicia front end wasn't big enough.
Sure.
So you couldn't get the motors in. Originally I wanted to do 2 boosters, but the booster engines are too big.
Right.
So we went 2 GSXR 1000s, which are a more compact unit, still 200 brake horse each, they're a bit tuned.
Oh right, okay.
So 400 horse across the pair, not much torque, probably 200 pounds-feet of torque, something like that.
Yeah.
So we went for the later Skoda Octavia front end. It's obviously a bit wider, and then made it wider again.
It needs it, doesn't it?
And then managed to fit it all in, and it's like I think you said it better earlier on, it's more of a clamshell front end.
That's really what it looks like,
I've done it that way, and
So for the tech nerds amongst you lot, a bit like me, the first thing I did when I looked at this was like, how do you get 2 engines to work in synonymously? Is that the right? In synchronisation? How does that work?
I'll tell you what I say at all the shows, mate. It's wizardry.
Well, yeah, okay. Wizardry. And shut the bonnet, done.
Yeah, walk away. Just leave them thinking.
Because it baffled me for a while.
It's more of a case of you've got to just make sure everything is in sync with each other. So each throttle cable is identically adjusted. Each clutch is identically adjusted. Same with the gear change. If the pivot is slightly different on one to the other, it won't go into gear.
One's going to select equally before the other,
exactly,
or whatever.
Exactly that. So as long as you get that right, you can pull away and drive it like a normal road car.
But both engines provide drive down one prop shaft.
It does, yeah. So we link it in the middle with a drive box, which again is quite common in our sport. So it's got 4 gears in there. It's got your normal pinion onto your crown wheel on one engine, and then on the other one there's a reverse gear in there that then sets it back the other way.
Right.
Which is why the engines are sort of opposite, but
but working together.
So both drives in the middle. And then obviously what we did is sent a prop shaft through to the back. One of the biggest mistakes we made, I can say cock up then.
Don't mind it.
One of the biggest mistakes we made was gearing. The gearing in that, in my head, I was like, if it's 3.1 there, we'll run a 3.1 diff, and we'll end up with 3.1.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't, it triples. So we'd end up with a rock crawler. So then we had to have a separate box made.
I saw that. We'll get to that in a minute. And that
brings
actually
it back down to
that drops it down, right?
Yeah,
okay.
So it gives us it's never built for speed. It's not built to be the fastest thing in the world.
No.
Just built to be completely different.
I mean, and it is that.
an hour, but
yeah, but I mean, if it looks like that, and it's like you said, it's an exercise in engineering, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could I do it? And suffice to say, you have done. And interestingly, you said it don't weigh much, does it? How much does it?
No,
weigh?
it's about 750, 760 at last weigh, I think.
So I mean, 400 horsepower, regardless of the torque figure, 400 horsepower and something that weighs that much.
Yeah, it's not.
It's going to go right, isn't it?
It is.
So the front is a mixture of your own custom fabricated tube work, suspension, Willwood brakes I saw in there, and the mini light wheels. But as of the firewall or bulkhead, between there and behind the driver's seat is kind of factory is a loose term.
Yeah. So the wing mirrors, door handles, the doors, the A pillars, obviously roof is all Felicia. So anything from sort of this area to this area.
And the floor as well? Does the
No, we custom built.
Because the prop has to go through it and that sort of stuff.
Custom built the floor and all the floor pans.
There's 2 levers in there, so we're not talking about H-pattern gearbox, are we?
No, sequential 6-speed. So
on one gear lever.
1 forward, 5 back.
And you've got, what's the other lever in there?
Forward and reverse.
It's got reverse.
It has, because is that box at the back we're talking about? Do you want to show us just what's going on the back end? Because this isn't just a pickup truck. So in front of the diff, which is, what's the diff out of?
That's Sierra diff.
There's a box in front of that, and so what's that got to do with the whole situation?
What we had to do is, like I said to you, that ratio was wrong out of the front.
Yeah.
So by the time we got to here, we'd just, like I said, had a rock crawler, something that did 10 mile an hour. 15 mile an hour. So we had to design a box that goes in there. We had a couple of different engineering companies jump on the project for us. That now takes it from the ratio in the front to a 1-to-1.
Right.
So when it goes back to that diff, it's only using the chrome wheel pinion in that diff. So say that's a 4.1 or a 4.6 diff or something like that. That's what it's now using.
Right.
And then obviously we just put the tyre size to roughly what we needed to do on it.
It's just genius, man.
But in there as well is reverse. So obviously that's where your other second lever comes from. So we can go 6-speed in reverse, 6-speed in forward.
How fast do you need to go in reverse?
Well,
So I noticed earlier when you pulled away, the prop shaft was turning and the car wasn't going anywhere. Like you said, because it's in neutral, because you can actually engage it. And did you design all the A-arms at the rear and the rear suspension?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's probably about 3 or 4 different types of stuff that's gone on there.
Amazing.
Obviously, I wanted to do inboard suspension just because it's cool, also you know, where do you put that shocker on the outside?
Yeah, because you'd have had to have towers up here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wanted to get some weight centralised in the centre, and then obviously we put the fuel tank at the back. It's a really good sized fuel tank.
Yeah.
Fabbed in house by an ex-employee of mine, did all that for me. So he's done a great job before he left. But this, obviously, with some weight in the back, it's actually a 52-48 split.
Is it really?
Yeah, really surprising. Yeah, 2 people in it, it's a 52.
The engines don't weigh loads, Ali block.
No, 76 kilos each.
Yeah.
Gixxers. So it's wet weight 76 kilos.
Nice.
So it's not bad at all.
Are you happy with how it's turned out? I mean, when I look at it from someone who appreciates that type of engineering, I think, you know, just to even think about it, it gives me a bit of a headache. But to complete it, I mean, is there anything you'd change going forward if it's the only one you've done? What would you change?
I think there's lots of bits on it that, being probably a few years in now, I've gone differently. Differently. Definitely. I probably wouldn't have been so pedantic on how the chassis looks, because you don't get to see it really. And I wouldn't have been so... There's so much bits and pieces. I'd have found a different way of doing that drive box.
Okay.
I'd have probably had some gears made for the front drive box, so all we have is reverse there, and then just put an inline reverse in the middle.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of silly things like that, but as a off-the-shelf one, we've only ever built once, and there's only one in the world like it. I think it speaks for itself now. So.
Would you build another one?
It depends how many elements in the equation there is.
Yeah. Money.
That's
one of them, isn't it?
Money.
How much are they paying?
But also, it's not a one-off if you do that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that is a good point.
And as you'll see by some of the other stuff you see today, there's a lot of we love building one-off stuff. We like customers saying that's the only one in the world.
Yeah, I mean, as Graham's saying, there's 2 other bits here maybe 3 other bits we've come to see, and we've got to get cracking, because the other stuff is a definite must-see. If you think this is good, there's some other stuff cool.
Not only that, you've got to try and get in that.
I know, but I'm looking forward to it. I love a set of Kirky seats. Right, well, I mean, I could talk all day about it, but it is. What colour is it, by the way?
It's the only colour I didn't want. When I sent it to the body shop, I said to the guys, don't do it red. Don't do me a red car. And
I'm colourblind, and that looks pretty red to me.
They rang back and said, look, it's a Mazda red with their own sort of tint in it.
Nice.
So shout out to JC, they were amazing, to be fair.
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, they did a great job, did all the bodywork, did all the paint, it's just fantastic.
It looks, for a custom car that's just all built out of separate pieces, it comes together.
Yeah, and all
really,
steel
really
modded
well.
as well.
Is it really? No,
Yeah.
fiberglass. Well, I guess we better go for a drive then, don't we, Stu?
You have, I'm going to watch you get him.
Alright, let's do that then. That's weird seeing 2 dashboards.
Yeah. Very mechanical.
Very mechanical.
Very mechanical.
So you said the furthest you've driven it is about 200 yards?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was round the show last weekend.
So this is the furthest you've driven it?
It will be, yeah.
No way.
Just haven't had the real interest or bug for it, like, you know?
Taking the steering wheel off mid-drive's quite a touch as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Having both engines.
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah. The drive sounds, you know, so
Weird.
yeah, but it gets killed by obviously the transmission noise. Like,
Yeah. They're like in harmony, aren't they? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, they are.
We'll have to apologise for the noise. There's so much drivetrain noise. We just really wanted to experience what it's like. But it is like, it's a weird sensation.
Massively, yeah.
It's so weird.
Everything is so mechanical. There's no, it's not refined.
No.
It's just mechanical.
But it looks refined. I mean, it looks like it's all one thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Both of them dropping the neutral lovely, like so.
I can't believe you haven't driven it.
I couldn't bring myself to drive it. I spent so long building it. I fell out of love with it but I just felt so long. I've put so much time, effort and money into it.
You can tell.
I just didn't want to drive it. I didn't want it to let me down.
It's so nice that we've captured that as well. It's the furthest you've driven it, and it's like you know, this is the most you've got out of the car so far. It's unbelievable.
I can't stop smiling now.
Yeah.
To be honest, I love it.
You should be proud of yourself, mate. It's amazing.
Different, mate, innit? Just wanted to be different.
Oh, but well, you've certainly achieved that.
Yeah. Got to work on our handles. Pass them with
I don't want it. I don't want to. There we go. Thank you. There you go. There you have it. That is the engineering masterpiece. That is the twin-engined Skoda Felicia something or other. It's mental. Proper enjoyed that.
What's it called?
It's a Skoduki. Google it, because there isn't another one. This is the one and only. And it's, 2 engines, 400 horsepower. We didn't go mad in it today, but it was plenty fast enough. And the noise, if it had been any louder than that, it was mental. Love it, absolutely love that. BB Motorsport built it. Graham is the genius behind this. So if you want fabrication work done, any sort of stuff a bit as wild as this, give them a call, Google them. I'm sure we could put a link in there.
Yeah.
Below. So there you have it, guys. If you liked what you saw today, don't ask us for another one because it's the only one that exists. But if you like what you saw, like, share, subscribe. We've got loads more stuff going up because there's 3 other cars here that we've been out in today. We'll see you next time. Better even know my story. Yo, that messy get gory. Simple, that's not for me.